What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got first. I have three videos that I'm gonna make for you today. Three scouting report videos because I still have three more games that I need to get to. The Tennessee game, which is the one that I'm doing right now, the Saints game, and the Falcons game. So, and it's already Saturday. I had a lot of games to make scouting report videos on. But I want to get them done because obviously tomorrow there's going to be a slew of games that I'm going to then have to start going through for week 2. So I'm going to pound them out, knock them out today. So I'm going to get 3 of them. Let me get right into it. Like I said, this is the Tennessee Titans game. And just to start with, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that it was a rough day for Tannehill and the Titans. The Arizona Cardinals had the recipe, shut down Derrick Henry, and then get tons and tons of pressure on Ryan Tannehill. And they had 6 sacks. Chandler Jones had 5 by himself. So, hey, man, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? But I think, I just like a lot of people, I think, inflated the Bills' loss to the Steelers. I think this is a similar situation. Even though they definitely got destroyed, it was 38-13. But like I said, man, if you can shut down Derrick Henry and then get 6 sacks on Ryan Tannehill, bust through that offensive line, around it, under it, over it, whatever, then yeah, I mean, you would think that it's likely going to be pretty one-sided, and it definitely was. But I don't think it's an indication of how their entire season is going to go, and I think people are also sleeping on the Cardinals a bit. That offense led by Kyler Murray with D-Hop is pretty fucking lethal, and their defense is pretty lethal too. I mean, like I said, they got 6 sacks. Chandler Jones had 5. If I'm not mistaken, Chandler Jones had 19 last year. So, I mean, that is a really good and up-and-coming Arizona team. So I wouldn't play too much into that. We'll have to wait and see how things go for the rest of the season. But for this first week, the week 1 scouting report, the Tennessee Titans definitely had a rough day at the office. So as you can see, they did drop to 0-1 because of the fact that they went 38-13. And like I said, I mean, it's hard to say anything other than they just got absolutely destroyed. So, it is what it is. But let's take a little bit closer look. As usual, as I normally do, I forgot to pull up the stats on my phone so I could tell you the team stats since they, for some reason... Oh, no, you know what? They're actually working. So we're just going to roll with this then. All right, so as you can see here, Arizona, they gave up 416 yards on defense. They only had 248 for themselves. Passing yards, they gave up 280 but had 162 themselves. I mean, they got beat out in every category, right? They gave up 136 rush yards, only had 86 themselves. Like I said, they were really able to contain Derrick Henry. Cardinals had 6.2 yards per play, and Tennessee only had 3.9. They had less than 4 yards per play. And so, that's what 6 sacks is going to do for you. Let's see. Points scored, obviously, 38-13. Fumbles lost. Tennessee lost 2. Each team threw an interception. They've added some things to this. That's interesting. Anyway, so sacks allowed. That's cool though. Some added statistics. So sacks allowed. Arizona allowed 2, but look at that, 6 sacks. Tennessee let up. Third down efficiency. Arizona, they let up 53% on third down. Tennessee was only 35. Time of possession. The Titans only had it for 26-39, and they let the Cardinals stay on the field for 33-21. The penalties were just outrageous in this game all around. But as you can see, Arizona had 8 and Tennessee had 7. Okay, let's take a little bit deeper look. So offensively for the Titans, you can see Ryan Tannehill was 21 for 35, 212, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His stat line actually isn't that bad considering the whooping that they took, man. And the beating that he took. But anyway, and then Matthias Farley had a pass for 6 yards too, and it picked up a first down actually. But anyway, rushing, Derrick Henry had 17 rushes for 58 yards and a 3-4. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Shut him down and then get those 6 sacks and you're good to go. Will we be able to do that? And will, obviously the Titans are going to look to fix those deficiencies and so on and so forth. And will we be able to do that? Probably not, but that's definitely the recipe that you want to go with. Anyway, and then Tannehill had 2 runs for 17 yards, a touchdown, and 8.5 average. So he threw in a little bit of rushing there to help boost them as well. And he was their only, he gave, I don't know, he threw a touchdown and ran for a touchdown. So he was both of their touchdowns. That seems a little weird though, huh? Because they only had 13 points, I guess. Anyway, because I thought they, oh no, never mind. Yeah, it was I was gonna say I thought they kicked a field goal at some point, but no, it was the Cardinals that kicked a field goal, and then they went for the 2-point. There was a lot going on in that game. Anyway, continuing on. Chester Rogers, 4 of 6, 62. A.J. Brown, 4 of 8 for 49 and a touchdown. Julio Jones, 3 of 6, 29. Jeremy McNichols, 3 of 4, 24. Derrick Henry, 3 of 4, 19. Anthony Ferkser, 3 of 4, 19. And Nick Westbrook Ikeen, 1 of 2 for 10. Yeah, and as, just real quick, I'll scroll through the rest of this. But look, man, like I said, I would expect the Tennessee Titans to get things back together. I mean, that offense, that offensive line, first of all, so the offensive line obviously had tremendous struggles in this game for the Titans. And they definitely need to fix that. But they're not going to face the type of pass rush that they did with the Cardinals every single week either. And, I mean, I would hope not that they... for the next part, I was going to say, I hope that they don't let up 6 sacks every week, because if they're doing that, then they definitely have bigger problems, and something needs to get fixed there on that offensive line. But I wouldn't expect that to be the case. If that ends up being the case when we play them in Week 17, well, I'm going to love it then, because that means we're going to have a real opportunity and we could actually win that game. As of right now, I do have that as a loss, even though they just took a spanking in Week 1. But again, to a really good Cardinals team. So, but just for defensive purposes, let's see what they gave up. Kyler Murray was 21 for 32, 289, 4 touchdowns and 1 interceptions. They gave up to Chase Edmonds 12 rushes for 63 and a 5.3. James Conner 16 for 53 and a 3.3. And then Kyler Murray had 5 rushes of his own for 20 yards, a touchdown, and a 4 average. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins was 6 of 8, 83 and 2 touchdowns. Christian Kirk, 5 of 5, 70 and 2 scores. Rondale Moore, 4 of 5 for 68. Chase Edmonds, 4 of 4 for 43. And A.J. Green, 2 of 6 for 25. And then I will just quickly scroll through the rest of this so you can see it. If you want to stop it and check it out, go ahead and do so. All right, now with that, I am going to switch over to my league standings. And I did actually update this a bit. I added, so instead of doing just the averages, I am actually going to do the total yards and then the average per game. So, the total yards number will continue to stack up each and every week and just continue to get larger, whereas obviously the per game is the average of all the games played. So this is the total on the season. This is the per game. So for the Tennessee Titans on offense after week 1, this does actually include, though, the Giants and Washington football game. So that week 2 matchup is included. But after all of that, the Titans are on offense 31st in the league with total yards being 248 yards per game. It's the same. 31st total passing. For right now, the total and the yards per game is going to be the same. That will change. That should change starting this week, now that we're actually going to have multiple weeks. But for now, they are 25th in the league with 218 in the passing game. They're 20th in the league with 86 yards in the rushing game, and 29th in the league with points with 13. Okay. And then, so for defense, on defense, I just did their, averages, just the average per game. No need to do the total. They are 23rd in the league for total yards, giving up 416, 19th in the league, giving up 289 passing yards, 24th in the league, giving up 136 rushing, 31st in the league, giving up 38 points. Takeaways, they're 14th with 1. Now again, real quick, as of right now, because there are a bunch of teams tied, it just depends on where they actually landed on the list. So, but where they were 14th in the league with 1 takeaway, 4th in the league with 1 interception, 22nd with 0 fumbles, 20th in the league with 2 sacks, and 20th in the league with 3 passes defensed. And just real quick so you can see where the Dolphins were, this is where they were on offense, and this is where they were on defense. Just as a little bit of a comparison for after week 1. All right, with that, I am going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.